There was a day a long time ago where I almost didn't go to work because I didn't feel well. And I was late, but I went. And when I got there were 4 kids waiting for me at the front door. And they said, "Miss Larissa, we've been waiting for you, and we have to tell you this thing." And it really involved one child, but she needed her friends, and they needed me. And so oftentimes when I think I could use a break, I also think, who's waiting for me at the door today?
We are here to let the kids know that they have someone to come to. They come from difficult situations, a lot of the children. So it's really about getting to know what situations your kids may be going through.
We're not just watching kids and sending them home with a snack. We're there to help them grow and help them learn. And sometimes that's going to be super, super fun activities like dodgeball. And sometimes that is a little more of a classroom setting that's incorporating fun and not just a fun activity.
The average day at the Boys and Girls Club is the kids will come in, we eat snack, not lunch, we eat snack, and then we'll go over the rules. And then we do power hour. So that consists of doing something educational. If the kids have homework, they can do homework for an hour, or I'll print off worksheets, or we do an activity, or we watch an educational movie or a show. And then after that, that's when the programming comes and we have to do activities with the kids. So we do anything fun. Either we do arts and crafts, we do activity outside, we come up with games, or we even do TikTok dances on the TV. It's a lot of fun.
Every day's different. It's never the same. There's chaos left and right, but how you handle that chaos is the way your day determines how you are, how those kids are. You're never gonna have the same kid. Every kid has their own situation that they're dealing with at home. Being a YDP is just somebody you're a mentor to those kids, you're a guide, you're a counselor sometimes, but most importantly, you're there for them.
When a YDP come in, they gotta understand that there's gonna be ups and downs. There's going to be some days where they find that it's very easy. Then there's going to be some days where things are challenging, that they're going to face some challenging situations that we as a team might not be prepared to take on, but you have to be willing to communicate and work together as a team as we try to figure out the solution.
Our role is not only, did you get your math done, but recognizing that maybe we're the only person asking that question today.
When you do build these strong relationships with kids, sometimes they take that as, I'm the favorite, so now if I do something wrong, I don't get in trouble. So I had a couple of girls that followed me from a couple clubs, so they're like, oh, if I get in trouble, Miss Jasmine isn't going to say anything. And so then when I do have to redirect or let them know that they've done something wrong, it can be difficult because I'm supposed to be your favorite. You got me in trouble. And so it's about explaining to them that I didn't get you in trouble, your actions did.
My favorite program that I ever ran was called Smart Girls. And that program was when I gather up the girls like 3rd grade and up, and we'll come together and we'll talk about certain things. Like we'll talk about confidence and hygiene and peer pressure, and I feel like that the kids trust me enough and they feel comfortable with talking to me, so that really inspired me to do better.
So any new youth development professional that comes in, I think it's important to bring, first of all, themselves. They don't get to pretend to be somebody else because kids will see right through that, of course. Then also fun. I mean, that's a big part of what we do, is trying to incorporate fun into everything that's happening at the club. So being intentional about bringing in the fun and who you are, while also knowing that we're working with kids and everything needs to be brought down to where they're at.
The one thing that makes me show up every day is just knowing that no matter whether I come in and I'm having a bad day, I will come in and I will put a smile on for those kids, because my bad day probably doesn't even compare to theirs.
So with that, it's important to also make sure that we are bringing ourselves fully and being sure that when we're coming to the club, we are coming to the club. It's important to show up often and regularly so that when they have an unstable home life or unstable school life because their teacher is no longer there or they had to switch classrooms, they can come and know that, okay, Mr. Justin is still there, the staff that I've been working with are still here, and it's gonna be the same people, because if there's something unstable in their personal life, and then they come to the club and it's also unstable, that's just going to reinforce that other people aren't here to help me, they're just here.
Any advice that I could give to someone who's applying for this position is to just come in open-minded. Because you never know what's going to come at you. You never know what you're going to see. When it comes to this job, you know you're working with kids. Be open-minded, be prepared for any kind of mood swing, anything in general.
But the reward of that is once they know, and it doesn't happen right away. It takes time. It takes time for them to trust you and to understand you, just as you have to understand them. But it takes time for them to really give in to you and trust you and open up to you, and then that makes a better relationship.
We show up every day because, the truth be told, we need them. You know, I heard people say one of the most selfish things that you can do is just give back. And because it's the reward that comes back. When you go into that facility, regardless of what your evening was the day before or what your morning was like, when you walk in there, they make you feel like Superman. Mr. Corey. Makes you stick out your chest because they want you to be there and they count on you being there, and they genuinely just love your presence and stuff.